Welcome to Shorr Solutions, the podcast. I'm your host, Jay Shorr. I am the CEO and founder of Shorr Solutions, a national and award-winning consulting firm assisting aesthetic and surgical practice with their operational, administrative, and financial success. I have an amazing team of practice management experts and clients across the U.S., and as an industry expert with firsthand experience owning a multi-million-dollar cosmetic dermatology and plastic surgery practice, listen in as I lend you my expertise and best tips to successfully manage and grow your aesthetic practice. I will also be bringing in guests along the way, so get ready to be equipped to operate your aesthetic practice strategically and profitably. Welcome to Shorr Solutions, the podcast. Welcome to another episode of Shorr Solutions, the podcast. Our session today is going to be cost of living raises in these unusual times. I'm your host, Jay Shorr, founder and CEO of Shorr Solutions, a national practice management company specializing in the operational, administrative, and financial guidance of aesthetic, cosmetic, surgical, and med spa practices. So many of you want to know, what is a cost of living raise and what does it include? Well, quite simply, let me share with you what cost of living raises are. A cost of living raise, sometimes called a cost of living adjustment, COLA, is an increase in salary meant to help employees cover increased living expenses. And the cost of living has increased faster than wages for the past decade, and especially in the last year or two. And with the pending upcoming recession, inflation, whether it does happen or not, it doesn't seem that there's going to be any sign of it slowing down anytime soon, which is very important because we have to know how our staff feels. It's not about us as business owners. It really amounts to, how do our staff feel about all of this? Because many times they're coming to us and they're saying, I need a raise. And we say, well, you just got an annual raise. And they say, yes, but all the costs and expenses over last year have gone up. What am I to do? Well, quite frankly, let's take a look at really what happened in the last 2 years with cost of living. In 2022, Social Security raises even went up 5.9%. And in 2023, those are on Social Security by the cost of living adjustment was 8.7%. Now, you might say, I don't know that I want to give my staff 8.7%. How does it amount to that? Because if somebody is making $25 an hour or $50,000 a year, that means that in order to give them 8.7 or 9%, I may have to give them $4,500 raise at a 9%, rounding it up, 8.7 to 9. And that may just be a little more than I want to give them, because $1 an hour is $5,000. Or $2,000, because there's 2,000 hours in a year, 2,000 hours actually, because there's 2080 hours in a year. 40 times 52 equals 2080. But they have 2 weeks vacation, so they're really only working about 2,000 hours. But they're still paid for those 52 weeks in a year with their average time of PTO and vacation. So one of my next questions then becomes, should employees automatically be given a raise every year on a cost of living adjustment? Well, you can look at it 2 ways. One, you can give them an annual raise, or you can give them a cost of living raise and determine which is higher, not which is lower, because that's not going to make the employee feel very good. What happens if you just can't afford to give that raise? That can even be a worst case scenario. Think about the morale that each one of your staff members will feel if you can't afford to give them a raise. I wouldn't want to be in that position. So let's take a quick look. Should raises be considered once per year? Well, here's a graphic that's going to show. If you meet expectations, maybe we'll give you a 4.5% raise. If you exceed expectations, you might get a 5.75% raise. And if you are so exceptional as an employee, maybe we'll give you a 6% raise. Now, all of this must be contingent upon a fair appraisal, an employee review, which naturally should be given once a year at the minimum. I know in my practice, I used to give employees their performance reviews twice a year, one in the middle of the year, one at the end of the year, so that they knew where their opportunities lie. I know that we did a session on this once before of how and when you should give employee reviews, but be quite honest with you, I always want to know where is my mark for improvement so that I know when it comes time for my raise that I have met all of the items and the concerns and levels of opportunities that you feel I needed to achieve. I always knew when I was in elementary school, high school, college, any courses I've ever taken, I knew to the day where I was and what grade I was going to get. It was never a surprise, and neither should a performance review. Why? Because when you're doing a performance review with an employee, you should be guiding them to help direct them to allow them to improve on any deficiencies or opportunities that arise during the course of the year. So then when it comes time for their final performance review and money is involved, you already know what challenges and opportunities that you've given them to improve on, and whether or not they've done it is a different story. So what happens if they haven't done it? Well, you have two options. You don't give a raise or you don't keep the job. Yes, we're going to take a quick break and a slight intermission, because what kind of business would we be if we didn't tell you about our own services? I'd like to take a moment to tell you about our Conversion Cascade online course. We want you to be trained to convert more patients and boost revenue in your aesthetic practice. So with our Conversion Cascade online course, you and your team will be able to master two key important things to growing your practice and becoming successful: converting and retaining new patients. So as a step-by-step sales funnel, the course is designed to help you and your team attract more patients, convert calls to consults, convert consults to treatments and procedures, and keep patients coming back for more. Not only will our Conversion Cascade online course help strengthen and develop your team's phone and sales skills in order to acquire, convert, and retain loyal patients, but it'll also serve as a valuable onboarding training tool for every new team member. Plus, in this course, you'll receive downloadable marketing checklists, phone scripts, conversion tracking tools, and more. Sign up for the course to get started on increasing your revenue and converting more patients today. It only takes less than 4 hours to complete the course. You can finish it at your own pace, and you'll have lifetime access. And as a special thank you for our podcast listeners, we're giving you a 20% off discount. Just enter the code podcast to start saving. Click the link in our show notes to sign up for the Conversion Cascade online course and convert more patients now. What else could anyone ask for? So let's take a look at what factors really go into a cost of living adjustment raise. Oh, we all know rent, mortgages. Mortgage rates have increased dramatically over the last year. I remember you were able to get them at 2.5% to 3%. Now they're at 5%, 6%, 7%. Rent has gone up a lot higher than it used to be, the $25 and $50 a month. Now they're in the hundreds. Supply chain shortages have really caused a lot of these issues. Food, I know in the most recent past, we had cold weather in the orange groves in Florida, and it killed a lot of them, so the prices of oranges are going up. They had a big chicken devastation, so the price of chicken's going up, and the chickens, when they die and perish, they're not laying eggs, so the price of eggs went up. Clothing, health insurance, that never goes down. I know my electric bill, with all the work I'm here in Florida that Florida Power and Light did, they had to increase their utilities. Supply chain solutions, if things just not able to get here on time, and the cost of that, because of the cost of fuel, increases the cost of shipping, freight, whether it's on ship, container, airplane, automobile, trucks, the fuel. Interest rate, as I've mentioned, for mortgages, private school tuition has gone through the roof. And lastly, even those optional items of our own personal entertainment has gone up. So all of these things combined gave us an idea, and here it is, all these different cost of living bills that go up, that have to increase. So now I want more money. So if prices come down, for example, the cost of gas, can you decrease the stipend given during recessionary times? There's a temporary price reduction on certain items. Prices of fuel decrease. Grocery prices go down. Well, let me ask you, if that happens, are we going to take away the cost of living raise that we gave somebody and maybe just giving it and adjust it down to a regular raise? I caution you, that is a dangerous item because people then live and learn to live on the means of the net pay that they received. Whether or not you gave it to them as a cost of living adjustment, they've learned to live on that new salary. And giving it back, taking it back from them can create a major problem. So what do? The age-old problem. Well, I'll tell you what we do. The first thing that we have to do, seriously, the first thing that we have to do is determine and have a policy in place as to whether or not we're going to give cost of living adjustments, whether we're going to give cost of living raises, temporary, permanent, whether or not we're going to give stipends for fuel in a temporary. I know during COVID, we gave emergency raises, all right, for coming in, not working remote. More people are going to want to work remote. So if I have to pay all these expenses and somebody's working remote, should I give them a cost of living increase for fuel since they're not coming to the office? My suggestion to you is to take everything that we've spoken about into consideration and determine how you want to determine that cost of living raise. I might even urge you to have a sit-down meeting with your staff. Start with your manager first and get their feeling. Many times, people are looking to the almighty dollar and may not be that agreeable with you because they're looking for that raise. You have to make them understand whether it's a cost of living raise or whether it's an annual raise due to performance. There are two different things. Performance is done by an evaluation. Cost of living is done by the CPI, the inflation rate, prime interest rates, all these things, because when interest rates go up, it is a nightmare because people, mortgages, their car loans, everything that they may borrow money for. So that's it, folks. I'm Jay Shorr, and thank you for attending Shorr Solutions, the podcast. So that wraps up today's episode of Shorr Solutions, the podcast. If we mentioned any website links, you can find them in our show notes. To work directly with me and our award-winning team of consultants to increase efficiency, increase revenue, and decrease costs in your aesthetic practice, schedule a free consult with us today. We will help you establish and refine your aesthetic practice's protocols for maximum efficiency and productivity, decrease your expenses, and increase your profitability with an expert financial analysis of your business, attract more patients, convert calls to consults, convert consults to treatments, and keep patients coming back for more with our sales training, coaching, and complimentary access to our Conversion Cascade online course. Recruit, hire, and train new team members and manage any staff turnover with our human resource expertise, plus more. Head over to our show notes and click on the link to schedule a free 30-minute consult with us today. And if you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to spread the word and share this episode with your friends, colleagues, and the rest of your team. Remember to also follow us on social media at Shorr Solutions and sign up for our e-newsletter. You'll learn about our latest tips, blog posts, services, videos, webinars, and more. Links to our social media channels and to sign up for our e-newsletter are in our show notes. So see you next time, and remember to leave us a review and subscribe for more valuable content.